barbell military press. So for this lift, we're gonna break it down first with like your wrist and your hand position. Then I'll get underneath the bar and start explaining how we're gonna go ahead and execute from there. But when you get your hands set up underneath the bar, you wanna have, you can either use, this is my preferred style, is a false grip. So if this is the bar's gonna go, let me grab something real quick. We'll pretend this is the bar. The bar, when I grab it, it's gonna be more across my butt of my palm like that. So my hand literally is sitting on like this, with the bar resting across my thumb, and then I'll press from there. That's gonna be a lot more friendly and easier to get underneath the bar with your wrist and maintain your hand and wrist position. The other way to do it, which I wouldn't recommend for most people, but you can wrap your whole hand around the bar like that and then go with the thumb out to the side. The latter version, like that's gonna be probably gonna be a little bit more stressful on your wrist. If you do go with that version, again, make sure that your wrist isn't cocked back. Because if you're thinking about like the distribution of force into the bar, it's gonna negatively impact that if your wrist is cocked back. You think about the last point of force transfer before we actually go up into the bar is at your wrist and your hand. And if your wrist is cocked back, now we want all that force transfer into the bar. We want to keep it nice as straight as we can, position with the wrist so that we can get a good punch as we go up. The second part of that is like having that load on your wrist with it cocked back like that. You know, if you're doing a military press for, you know, a program, or maybe it's 2 different cycles within your program, all that loading on your wrist in that position right there is not going to be very good for it for the long haul. So we just want to be conscious of that. So now that we got the hand and wrist position out of the way, we can go on to the rest of the lift. And so with a military press, a lot of it, even though it's a different lift than a lot of the different other overhead pressing exercises that we're doing, the principles will remain the same. So in the starting position, when I get underneath the bar, I don't want to let my hips drive forward and start compressing with my low back. I want to let everything fall back so my hips stay back. I got my feet nice and centered into the floor, and my belly button's back. This is giving me this nice stack position with my torso is going to allow me, when I inhale, to create pressure internally through my abdominals and my pelvis, which is going to help when I exhale and press the bar overhead. It's going to help drive that force up rather than drive the force forward if I'm leaning back and arching into my low back. Okay? So watch that as I do this press. I'm going to get my hands set. Let everything fall back. Punch up and away. Bring it back down under control. When I bring it back down under control, I've got that bar resting right on my collarbones. Okay, and I punch to the ceiling once I'm set. And again, with overhead pressing, we're thinking about shoulder blades down and back into the back pockets at the starting position. Shoulder blades go up and away as we press up overhead.